Welcome, everybody. It's another Sunday night. My name is Joey Galvez, and our pal Ben is out for the night. Instead of Ben, we got somebody who is going to be sitting in his seat. I'm not going to say he's gonna fill his seat because uh, nobody will ever replace Ben. But how's it going, CJ? Man,
Good,
welcome to
man. I
the
agree.
show. Welcome to the show. Although you are an amazing fill-in co-host with me, we're gonna talk a little bit more about your comic book that is like literally hours left live on Kickstarter right now. This is probably one of the most funded campaigns that you've had so far, right? Last one was most funded. Is this one?
Mhm.
Is this one? Did this one surpass the last one?
Yeah. We're already every time I've gone off done a campaign now, it's been about a couple of $1,000 more than the previous. So the last one, Hunters of the Outer Realm, did 7,700. We're inching close to 10K now, which is
Yeah.
great. And my first one, A Tiny Island, did like 5,600. So every time it's a couple more K, which is great to see.
Fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about it. Please give us the log line to your book here that is live while I go ahead and put it on the screen and share it with everybody.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, it's a group of intergalactic criminals that are being sentenced to an off-world penal colony, and the transport vessel they're on breaks down, and a riot ensues in deep space. I like to bill it as Con Air, but in space and without Nicolas Cage is kind of the way I like to do it. But yeah, it's just kind of wacky sci-fi fun. It's a dramedy, so there's some good comedy moments, but I think there's some heartfelt moments too. And each arc kind of has a different feel to it. The omnibus collects the first two arcs. The numbering is a little wacky just because of how it was cut up by Antarctic Press when it was released in the direct market. So it was originally released in an anthology, then volume 2 came out as its own standalone miniseries. So, but the numbering all makes sense, and it's all in chronological order.
But yeah, it's when you put it in anthologies and then cut it into different bits and pieces, it can get a little get a little scary and scattered everywhere. But I love that you guys did this in and put this out through different ways, and then now we're bringing it together for the first time in this omnibus, collecting how many issues?
Total, it's truly 8 issues, but if you count the broken up issues in the anthologies, it's 11 issues, but it
Oh,
only would contain the Interstellar Dust portions of those issues. So I'm just going to say 8 issues, but
okay,
across 11 chapters.
that's still a hefty book here. Tell
Yeah, over
everybody
200 pages. Yeah, it's a big book.
and tell everybody what you kind of are offering this time around. You're sticking to the way that I feel like you've figured out your base and what they like. So you kind of stuck to what you've done last time around with the tiers and stuff. So how's that been working out with you?
I think it's been really solid. It's really tough to do a cheaper option when you're doing a big collected edition for a digital. I would have loved to offer a less expensive digital option, but it's really tough to
Yeah.
do and justify. So that's probably the one thing that I think is a drawback of collected editions, but I still think the price point for 250 pages almost for $20 of a digital edition is really inexpensive. And I've had a lot of people comment that my omnibus in physical hardcover and softcover probably could have been more expensive, but I want to reach as many people as possible. So I tried to make the price point as reasonable as I could.
What are you setting this price point at?
So the physical soft cover is $35, and then the hardcover is $50. And then I have a discount of getting the two together of $70. I like to discount things if you bulk them together. So like I took off $15 if you buy them both together.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. One thing that I wish that we can do with Kickstarter is if they would allow us to do like instead of $70, do 65.99 or something like that, or 65.98. To kind of, yeah. Listen, here's the thing. I've been really studying on marketing and how to do this stuff and how to what to set different price points at, right? And
Mhm.
there's some things in marketing that kind of just stick, right? When you see something that's like $50, right? And then you see something else that is like 49.98.
Yep.
Psychologically, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's way cheaper. It's
Yeah.
only like it's only like a dollar cheaper, right? But you're like it does something psychologically, right?
Yep.
And that's what it does when you look at these pages and you're ultimately your Kickstarter is a landing page to sell your product, right? So when you are working trying to market this stuff, it really helps to kind of follow those marketing rules that just don't really change because they're those things that just always work, right? I
Yep.
wish we can implement something like that sometimes with some of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. My big thing is expanding readership, not milking, the
Yeah.
fewer people for as much money as possible. It's how to get more people to read your book, and that's by setting your price points a lot lower. And I learned that years ago from creators in the direct market where you would see some of those old Vertigo trades, like 6 issues for $10. It was a great deal. And I
Yeah.
remember asking a creator once at a con, I was like, this is a really good deal for a trade, for your creator-owned book through Vertigo. And he said, I want my trades to be as cheap as possible because I want the most readers as I possibly can get.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a barrier to entry for anybody.
So how do you offset that versus the cost to print these things and making it that low? Because sometimes when it gets to the point to where the margins are very very thin to kind of turn a profit. I mean, ultimately this is we are selling this thing and we are trying to profit on this. It's just the nature of the game out there, right? People making these things to make a profit. A lot of the times we go into this and we come out of it in the red, right? So how do you stay in the black with this?
One nice thing is collected editions are kind of the icing on the cake. With the individual issues, hopefully you've already made your nut, like you've already made all your money back. And so really you're just trying to cover your print costs one more time, but all the art costs and everything should have already been taken care of. So that's why I view collected editions as not like I want to, really try to
Yeah,
get more money out of people. I view it as I want to expand more readership.
yeah,
But it's, to your point, it's a fine balance. Like you don't want to undercharge, but you also don't want to overcharge. You want to set a reasonable goal at an appropriate price point. And you have to have a great looking product to offer, and you have to have a really good page design too. Like those two
yeah,
things are, inherently true, is that you have to have something that people want, and you can't have it cobbled together and looking like shit, or
yeah.
else they're not going to want to get it. I've seen some great products where the page looks horrible and it doesn't sell you on it.
Yeah. I do have to admire that some of the books that I've gotten from you, the interiors, the design of putting the book together has been fantastic. I've looked in like the one of the last ones, I think the Hunters one that you sent me, and I looked through some of I was like, who is this? Who? Because it was like a brand that I didn't recognize from you, right? And I was like, what is this? Where did you do this? Did you like hire some designer and you didn't hire me? Like, what is wrong with you, pal? But it's like this looked freaking fantastic, and I was kind of jealous.
Oh, are you talking about like the credits page
Yeah,
design?
the credit page, the whole book design, how it was all laid out, everything was just masterfully put together.
Yeah, I had thanks. And I worked with two people. I worked with a letterer that did some great design work, and I also worked with a
Fantastic.
designer that got me a logo, and he did the credits page work for me. The artist actually chipped in a little bit, so it was really three people that did work to design that comic for me.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, the artist kind of threw in some design work just to make it look kind of cool. But yeah, I was really happy with how it turned out. It was for it not being everything I do, I think, is kind of like mature in nature, but for
Yeah.
it not being a not safe for work comic and almost doing 8 grand, I was really happy with that.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us a little bit about some of the characters and the storyline that we're going to see in this book.
Yeah, it's funny thinking about these characters now because I've been writing this book since 2017. So it's been a
Wow.
really long time. And I just finished the third arc. So it's a story that I'm hoping to continue on with and make it ongoing and kickstart every individual issue going forward after this. So and then we'll just keep pumping out omnibuy. But yeah, it's kind of a ragtag group of prisoners and guards and staff aboard the prison vessel Afterglow that breaks down. And, these people kind of come together because they're basically just trying to survive this riot in deep space is that first arc. And then the second arc finds them incarcerated in this penal colony. And of course, some of the staff and officers on there are also in prison. So they kind of get a taste of what it's like to be incarcerated.
Yeah.
So it kind of like flips everything around and kind of bonds everybody. So you have, your kind of classic like criminals, and you have people that were put in there by mistake. And then you have, the up and coming flight officer who's just trying to do well, and like the sexist prison guard. You have a lot of really fun characters that I had a good time designing. But you also then kind of like with anything, you start to like them, even though you might not like all of them at first when you're reading. Eventually, you start to see like the things that make them people, right? And kind of enduring characters.
I'm showing some of the pages on here, and I have to take I have to take it down from the screen every once in a while because there is some NSFW stuff, but you cannot you don't see anything, but we just don't want this stream to be flagged. So
No,
we want everybody to be able to see this and purchase it if they can. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a mature read. There's nudity and a lot of violence. It's not erotic. You wouldn't see like, full penetration or anything like that. But you'll see, like genitalia, things like it. Anything you could see on HBO, you would basically like see here.
Yeah. Skinemax, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Here's some pages that we can kind of flip through there. Oh, there's some things you might not
Everything's
see.
blacked
It's all
out though,
blurred,
so
all blacked out, but still, we just
yeah,
want you guys to get a feel of this. But look at the interiors, guys. This is some gorgeous stuff. This is some of the stuff, some of the best stuff I've actually seen from some of your teams here, because you work with a lot of really great teams, and a lot of them, they come out, you have some really awesome new talents that you work with. Like there's a story that we're going to be working with you on that's you can see in Archetypes issue 2 that's going to be coming out printed very soon, which is called a Serpent in Our Mists. And that team was fantastic. This team is freaking good looking. How do you find these people? You had Moy Marco do some really cool stuff on the last campaign, and I think you have them doing some stuff in here as well. But how do you find these people? They're amazing talents.
Yeah, I'm definitely an art snob. Like I really like a good detailed, dynamic art style. And I'm on
This is one
Instagram
of
a
my favorite
lot.
pages. One of my favorite pages right here.
Yeah, that's a great page. Igor Wolski is a great talent. His backgrounds are really fun, and he's a really cool guy. He had to leave the book though. He wanted to pursue some of his own comics, so I totally get it. But Moy has been, a fantastic fill-in. But then, of course, I lost him to DC, so we're on hiatus right now. But we're going to do a series of one-shots, backstories for all the lead characters, just to fill in while we're waiting. So that'll be fun. So one of the leads, I'll see, and I'm not fully writing them either. I'm plotting some of them. Some of them I'm not writing. I've had a number of people that I've been working with that have been providing scripts to me. First one is written by Christopher Albright. So I did plot it, but he scripted it based off my plot. So it's a great script. We've already got an artist signed up, Sky Hawkins. So we're excited.
Fantastic. And tell a little bit about what people can see. They can get your add-ons, but also Hunters of the Outer Realm, and then a really cool fan fiction book that you guys have done.
Yeah, we've got a fanfic. I won't talk too much about it for legal reasons, but
Right.
but we do have one.
Yeah, you guys, there's a character that might be coming out very soon in a movie that was just that's going to be shooting here very soon in the next month or two.
Yep.
So if you guys are really fans of the universe that we just saw with this amazing show that just movie that just dropped here in the last weekend, that universe is fantastic, and one of these this fan fiction is about that. So check it out. And if you guys are backing my campaign, and you anybody who if you guys go over to I Need Your Skin on Kickstarter and you're back that campaign, if you spend just look through there and you can see what how to enter to win a copy of this. I have we worked with CJ on some of this stuff, and he was happy to send us eight copies of the fan fiction, and we're going to be giving away four of each of those covers to everybody who spends within that limit for free. And what we're gonna do is we'll go live. We'll have everybody who spent that money we'll put their boxes in a little thing, and what we'll do is we'll just start blind stuffing books in there. So whoever gets it, it's just luck of the draw. Wherever it goes, wherever those book goes, that's where its new home is going to be. So so check that out. All you got to do is head over to geekcollective.net/ I need your skin, or if you're on Kickstarter now, just type in I need your skin and you can find that. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the show. Very cool, man. I love this stuff. You got all kinds of really cool stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Endless Hunt. This one, and just give the little bit of a log line here. Don't give too much away because this one is unreleased. Is not in limbo. It is going to be released. There's just been some crazy things that's happening because of the whole direct market shakeup.
Yeah, and this was the Kickstarter edition, and we will have that direct market edition that comes out through Band of Bards eventually. But the way I always work too is everything is a different experience. So the covers that are going to be in the direct market through Band of Bards are completely different.
Yeah.
So what you're, and I did that for a reason, because I don't really. I don't think it's fair to publishers. I don't think it's fair to the fans. I don't think it's fair to comic shops to just repackage something with ads and a different logo like that. That's kind of my interpretation of it. I want them to be unique. The interiors will be the same, but you get a fully different cover. Like I'm not going to kickstart Endless Hunt again, so you'll find it as add-ons, but you would have a totally different experience getting it through the direct market with some really badass covers. But essentially it's about this king in this frozen tundra that's on this hunt for his lost wife, but through a series of sort of events, he finds himself in sort of this weird dreamscape, and ultimately realizes that he never really lost her at all. And I'm gonna leave it there so that way you can read it and understand what I mean.
Yeah, and a lot of times when creators do that, they will kickstart a really long, lengthy version of the story, right? And then when in the direct market, sometimes it gets cut up and shortened to kind of fit their the standards that at which they produce these things, right?
Yeah.
And not every single publisher will do that, but there are some. So if you guys are out there and you guys are creators and wanting to kind of model this kind of way that you're doing your output, you can definitely do that, but just be aware that some publishers out there do not like that it was released through a Kickstarter. Some like that, and they might want to kind of edit in some things and make some changes here and there. The stories might differ just slightly, so just beware, right? And then for the backers and the people out there that will love reading this and wanting to jump in, there's a really cool incentive there too, right? Because those things can are really cool things that if they change some of the dialogue or fixed some of the things that we are always kind of go back and be like, man, I really wish that I would have fixed that or changed that thing. You can do that when it goes to the direct market sometimes, right? And then now give people a newer or better or a new outlook on the experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel like they are. I think they should be different experiences because a lot of times it's different fans too. A lot of
Yeah.
Kickstarter fans might not be fans that are buying comics in the direct market because
Mhm.
there is no direct market comic shop where they live. There's a lot in the Midwest, that a lot of states, a lot of
Yeah.
cities that don't have hardly any. So comics have largely gone online for them.
Mhm.
So the direct market edition might not be something even feasible. So I view it as two totally different things, and that's the way I like to differentiate it. And then I have my comps from the direct market, and I'll put them as add-ons later on in the campaign if somebody wants to get them that way later on. But it'll only be available in comic shops otherwise, and they're limited editions too. Like direct
Yeah.
market comics from a small publisher, you're probably going to get like 20 comps, so you don't have a lot of copies
Mhm.
to really play
Yeah.
with.
And sometimes the materials are different, right? Because the printer that you use may not be necessarily the same printer that the
Yeah,
publisher uses, right? So there's probably going
yeah,
to be difference there, right? So there's also a lot of those things as well. So and when you move from one printer to the next, not one, I guess what I'm trying to say is not one printer is ever the same.
no, no, they're all different. I've switched printers a couple of times now, and hardcovers are particularly challenging
Oh
for
yeah,
printers in the US.
oh
So
goodness.
yeah, so that can be really tough.
Oh
And
man.
single issues can be really challenging. I had to change printers because I just couldn't afford to use the one that I had, and I found one where the costs were almost half of what and I felt like the quality was just as good, if not better.
Right now is really tough on creators to find a printer who is not increasing their pricing
Yeah,
by a lot. I'm not going to say the name of one of my printers, but there was a moment where I had everything in the cart ready to go. I had it sitting there for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, right? Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull the trigger. And when I was literally about to go pull the trigger, I was like, cool. Money, we got extra money in there to do all this different stuff with these amazing things, right? So I went and
yeah,
set it all up, went to go put my card in, and it was like it went from under 1,000 to like seven, almost $800 over. And I
yeah,
said, holy smokes. I was like, I can't do that. Like that is that we had a budget
yeah,
that we worked out during the campaign, and it worked out when we funded, and so we stuck to that, right? And then we go and we're like, oh my gosh. So now there's that hiccup that happened, and then we had to have a couple of stories get colored and lettered, and then and then we had all the edits to do, and then on top of it all, um we were waiting on one of the articles to come through, and we had to kind of push that one off to the next issue, which was kind of unfortunate because it was due to our because this whole thing messed up our budget now, because now with that extra story or that extra article we couldn't go over a page count because it jumped us up into this next bracket where with the amount of books that we were ordering, it was gonna jump up the price a lot more.
yeah.
It was crazy. So and it was just maybe like four extra pages, and you're like, holy smokes, like this is how hard is this to just do this, man? So it's like you have to roll with the punches sometimes when things like that happen. So how have you guys been handling things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough because to your point, you have a budget, and then with the extra money that hopefully you get, you kind of have visions of like, oh well, I can use this to start funding other things. Like I don't have to,
Next one or
fund out of
upgrades.
pocket. Yeah, like the dream is to literally pay for art, pay for the print run, and have enough money that you can start production of another book so you're not advancing payment out of your own pocket. Like that's the
Yeah,
dream
right.
basically to
Yep.
do. And that can be really really challenging. So when you talk about like, things not pricing out when you
Mhm.
thought they would, like that kind of just guts your dream right there because you then have to start all over and fund out of pocket again, which is hard for a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
comics can be really expensive to make, especially the ones that I like to make because I like to work with really good artists.
Yeah.
And I know you do too. And so sometimes that's kind of what you need to in order to fund a comic. But when you're talking about dumping 3+ K out of pocket into a comic, oh God, it can get a little dicey.
Yeah. And then who knows when you'll see that back, right? And so
Yeah.
it's and sometimes you may not for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I'm really overprinting on the omnibus of this because I'm gonna sell them as
Yeah.
tiers for the one shots too. So when the one shot
Oh,
with LC that
yeah.
comes out, that'll be a higher tier because there will be people who will discover Interstellar Dust through just the LC one shot and will
Right.
go, well, shit, I want the one shot plus the omnibus, so I'll just
Yeah.
continue to sell it, and then it'll be as an add-on too. But
Smart.
in my mind, I was like, it shouldn't just be an add-on, it should be a reward tier front and center for people that want to get that as well.
Yeah. And we're going to go back to talking a little bit about margins and stuff now, right? Because you've funded this thing to get made issue by issue, right? And then
Hmm.
you're going back and literally you're not paying for any art or anything like that. You might be paying for design and the
Yeah.
pages and all that stuff, and now you're just using this to kind of fund, which is cool because now that's where you can kind of pick up and pick up the slack, right? Where like before, if you were like out of pocket for all this stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, I am in the negative with all these things, all these issues,
Yeah.
which I'm right now. I'm like looking at the tills to all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, we could do this, right? We could do this. But when it comes to this collected edition, now you can kind of catch up where you couldn't catch up with all those floppies now, and
Hmm.
and then now we can take that amount and move it towards the next issue, like bringing in a new art team and new storyline, and bringing in new writers and things that give a fresh take on the characters and all this really fun stuff that you can do now because you were able to get these things funded at a really great rate. And right now you guys are hitting, let's see, let's pull it up, let's go all the way to back to the top. We have this cool thing at the top that kind of pulls you back here. We got, let's see, you guys are at $9,500.
Yeah.
This
Close.
nine
One
thousand
more stretch
nine
goal.
thousand five hundred dollars. We got $500 till we hit that 10K stretch goal. Dude, I think you can do this in the next 58 hours. What do you think?
I think so. I think the momentum has picked back up again. And this is kind of a lesson learned for me that the last week was dismal, but it was also 4th of July, and it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. People have their kids, they're traveling. It's the 4th. It was a bad week to have a campaign, so it kind of gutted me a little bit, but we're obviously still doing great, but it's a lesson learned, I think, for me that week was a little slow. And I don't know if you experienced the same thing, Joey. Like, was it a little slow
Yeah.
that week? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little so. I mean, we still got people, I think we've only had maybe 2 days where there was like not one backer, but then at the very last minute there was backers. So it's
Nice.
so we've had backers every day since we did it. I would have loved to we're still live, right? So there's still time to get all this stuff going. We still have 9 days to go. So we're not giving up. Because this thing is already funded. We but when we say funded, it's not, the book has not been like all of the workers who has been working on this, the money that we've paid them does not constitute what we are making on the Kickstarter, right? So we need
Yeah.
more so that we can continue to make this thing and continue to make this print. We're still going to do it. We're still going to make these print runs. We're going to do 3 issues. But it would be amazing, like you said, the dream is to not have to take out of your pocket and just continue start to create this sales funnel and to continue to do it so that we can continue to create and give you guys some amazing stories and some beautiful artwork.
Yep.
Fantastic. Let's take a quick small break and listen from some of our sponsors really quick, and then when we come back, let's when we come back, let's talk a little bit about some other Kickstarters, and then let's dive deep into like marketing and how to market a landing page and all these fun things that we've learned throughout this tenure that we've been doing with these things, man. You've been doing this how long now?
Kickstarters, I just really started solo last year. I did some
Okay.
collaborative ones, the last 3 years or so, but I've
Mhm.
been doing comics and releasing comics in the direct market since 2020 and writing quite a bit since 2017.
So you've
So
been around the block and get
been
this.
around.
Yep. So okay, so we've learned lots of things over the years. So let's talk a little bit about that when we get back from the other side. We're going to listen to some of our sponsors.
Click that mouse and warp into All Ages of Geek's website, your ultimate portal to everything geek culture. Here you'll find articles that speak your language, from the latest anime buzz to the coolest tech trends. Our mission? To celebrate geekdom in all its glory. Whether you're a gamer, a comic enthusiast, a 90s kid, or an anime aficionado, we've got something for you. Dive deep into them with All Ages of Geek.
Your comics take a lot of time and effort to create. Way too much to have them get damaged while shipping to your backers. Gemini Comic Supply mailers keep your comics safe in transit, and with the code GeekCollective10, you can get those mailers with 10% off your order. That's GeekCollective10. Enter it at checkout to get 10% off.
Thank you guys for sticking around. We're going to talk a little bit about our newest sponsor here, which is Dubby Energy. This is really cool because I love this stuff. It does not give you any of the jitters. It says jitterless energy blend because this is one of those amazing things that does not give you the crash that some of the other energy drinks does. It does not have all the gross stuff in there like the high fructose corn syrups, all those fillers and additives. There's no hidden additives into this thing. This is organic, I believe it is, and it's this is amazing stuff. I really love you drinking this because it doesn't make me crash, and it definitely gives me some different kind of energy than like a regular energy drink would. So all you got to do is head on over to w.gg and use our code, which is Geek Collective 10, and you can get 10% off your tub. These are 30 serving tubs, so you get yours today. If you guys are heading over to Tucson Comic Con, come see us at our table. We're gonna be giving away some tubs of Dubby. So come see us and then talk to us a little bit about something. And if you guys watch this show, tell me that you guys watched this exact show, and I'll give you one of CJ Hudson's books for free. How's that sound? Are you cool with that, CJ? Let's see. I'm gonna pull you back into if my computer works right here. Okay, CJ, are you cool with if I give them a comic book for free?
Yeah, man. I mean, I gave them to you. Do with them what you want.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, listen, we love CJ around here. We work with him on a lot of these Kickstarters that he does. I work with him at Band of Bards, and amazing person. And he sent us a bunch of books, so we're gonna have those on our table. So if you guys are in Arizona and you see us at any of our tables, or if you guys would like some books and you can't get a hold of CJ, get a hold of us. We can get you guys some of those books. All right, CJ, let's talk a little bit. I'm gonna pull up some of these other campaigns, man, and I want to talk a little bit about let's see. Okay, so right now I've only got a couple that people can let me see. Let me switch up this presentation thing. I don't have I don't have my handy dandy Benjamin W. Morse here to do this part for me. To do the I got hit stop sharing because he would be getting mad at me right now because he does this part of it. Anyway, we have a couple of them that we want to show you guys here to sign up for. And this one here, DMA, this is Department of Metahuman Affairs. You guys can sign up for this one here. We signed up. We made sure that we are following this one. This one is from our pal Corey DLG. This one is think X-Men smashes into the West Wing. This one is follows a this is a world where metahumans are everywhere, and there's a situation that happens where a bank robbery happens, and there's a big explosion, and everybody gets upset and blames the metahumans. So to kind of offset that and kind of control that, the state or the country created the Department of Metahuman Affairs to kind of combat that and kind of, regulate that a little bit. So we're gonna see a little bit of that stuff there. Very kind of that gives me this very like political kind of take on the superhero genre, right? So definitely check that one out. That one's gonna be going live very soon. And then we have our friend here, Benjamin W. Morse. We Are Scarlet Twilight. Cobalt Crisis #1. This is this as his blurb here. He has the end is here, an epic combining of scope, classic big two events with the style of and atmosphere of the Golden Age. This is his Crisis on Infinite Earths. If it was in the Golden Age, gorgeous, gorgeous interior work, gorgeous cover work by our friend Benjamin W. Morse. Fantastic work all the time that he does. He really puts his heart and soul into this stuff. And over the years, man, I just can see him progress and do some amazing things. This is something that he's been wanting to do for quite some time, and now he's able to do it. So this one is going to be coming out very soon. You guys can follow that one right now too. And then we got another one from our pal Patrick D. Foreman. This one is one that I'm working with on him as well. On this with him as well. It's called Remember. This is going to be the intense jaw-dropping finale, issue 3. This one follows a brutal murderer that unearths a bloodline secret and one detective's darkest reckoning. You can get both 22 issue the first 2 issues on this one, and then you can get the full trade paperback and get all 3 issues and the full trade paperback, kind of like what you were talking a little bit about, collected edition. They're going to be doing this in a collected edition as well. I am working on the book design, so this is one of those things that I really have to make this look amazing, because this is one of our passion projects as well, because this freaking book is awesome. I love, as soon as he told me this, the storyline, it was fantastic. It's about 2 detectives. One of them name is Helena Rodriguez. The other is Amy Johnson, and they uncover a chilling connection between a young woman's death and Helena's buried past. Remember is a psychological revenge story where every revelation draws blood, and every secret has a cost. This one's fantastic. This whole thing is finished. It's freaking fantastic. It's a revenge story. It's got blood. It's got gore. And so this is kind of a mature story, but gorgeous artwork from Francisco Santana Jr. Amazing all-star cast here. Let me pull it down all the way down to the bottom to kind of show you guys. Look at all this amazing artwork though. The team we got Patrick D. Foreman, who is the co-writer of Black Cotton. We have Damian Becton, who's just done Calabasas and Sinner Takes All. If you guys, that one's fantastic. He's got another one that's called Chopping Blades that he's literally about to send out to everybody. And then Marcelo Santana Jr., who's the illustrator. He's worked on Black Cotton as well. Francisco Zamora, he was on Black Cotton as the letterer. I'm doing the book design, and we got Andrea Lorenzo Molinari doing the editing here. So all-star, freaking fantastic team on this one. Gorgeous interior art. This one is freaking crazy. The last issue, you guys it's gonna blow your mind. Check this one out. You guys can follow this one right now. Just by going to Kickstarter and typing in Remember Part 3. Okay. I'll talk a little bit about mine later, but let's talk a little bit about landing pages, dude. Some of the things that I've been I'm gonna pull this down here. And so I've been researching like the science of landing pages ever since like you met Jeremy. I was talking to Jeremy, and he was like, "Hey, you should really like look into this. There's a thing called science of landing pages, and look it up and study and kind of go over it and see what pops out to you, right?" And some of the things that I was looking at, I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that I was already doing that," right? And it was talking about, and I think that was one of the reasons why he was like, "Hey, do you know what this is?" And because I was talking about parts where it talks about using capitalization, bold letters, and italics to like emphasize different things, kind of break up the different the verbiage and the copy on the Kickstarter page. I don't know if you noticed that I've been starting to do that. I did that on the last couple of your campaigns, and I've like saw a huge difference to doing that stuff. You can see a little bit of that here on the screen.
Mhm.
I've got, bold letters. I've got I got capitals, italicized bits here. Instead of just having like, like what we have here over here in the log line, just plain text, no bolding, no capitalization. It kind of This is one of those things where you have to kind of, when people are jumping on a landing page, you have to keep them intrigued and keep them scrolling, right? Those of us who love comic books, we know the term, of the page turn, right? The term of page turn. That is usually you are leading up to something on the left page, and you're eventually leading up to the very last panel on the right page, and giving people somewhat of a cliffhanger so that they can turn the page and move, and boom, you give them the answer on the other side of the page, right? This is that part of your page turn here, right? You got to have that kind of bold, pull them in really quick. Those are usually called the hooks, right? You have a really great, bold, strong hook that pulls people in, that kind of keeps them going. And then you have to have a really great hero image there to kind of keep them going as well. So we figured, hey man, what's better than somebody brutally shooting somebody? Right? This is gonna keep people going, because that's when, and then you give them a really great log line, and throw some stuff in there. We're still trying to work on this page and make it really impactful for you guys. Fantastic stuff. But talk to me a little bit about some of the strategies that because we worked with you on that, but how did you see, after us kind of studying some of this stuff, have you seen kind of the changes that we've made in the last two campaigns that we worked with you on?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, I can't remember the name of the show, but the comic and the page design got best overall design. And I
Oh
messaged
yeah.
you and said, "Hey, I can't remember the name of the guy's show, so I feel bad." But he basically goes in and and whichever one he likes the most, he backs it and supports it. But he felt like Interstellar Dust had the best overall art and page design. So those
Yeah.
two things are really married. I feel like, obviously
Mhm.
I'm not going to give you too much credit. I'm going to say 70-30, I'm going to say 70-30, right? But I think people in their guts, and it might be even more than that. But I think honestly, Joey, people in their guts feel like page design isn't that important. And it is, it's
Yeah.
really important.
Mhm.
It is a significant minority of what you have to do in order to reach your funding goal. Because I could easily have just not worked with you and just slapped a bunch of stuff on here, but I don't know graphic design. I, in my heart, don't think I would have done as well as I've done right now. Would I have still hit goal? I think so, but I don't think I would have done as well. I don't, without a really good page design, because I think people look at it and go, well, this kind of looks like shit. Like, everything's out of order. Everything's kind of sloppy. Like, there's no subheaders or anything that people can like know where they're at. I see a lot of people that just write words like, oh, covers or
Mhm.
things, and it just doesn't look professional. So regardless of the percentage, it is like, it's as high as maybe even 60-40. It's a big deal to have your page design done.
Yeah.
So I think it's really helped me ensuring that, it looks good. So, people that, work with creators like you, it's really important. I think, don't
Yeah.
skimp on it. It's a cost that you need to put into your overall production cost. You need to just account for it and say, if you're not good at graphic design, you need to hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, and there's like we're gonna go back to kind of talking about what we did in the beginning of the show, where you got to have consistency. You got to have things that are kind of just, there's rules to marketing. There's rules to things
Mhm.
that pertain to kind of what we're talking about, that just always stay the same. There's
Yeah.
also a lot of things that are always changing, right? Because this is like one of those industries that's very fluid and it's always changing, right? But there's those principles that are always that always stay, right? Your price points and putting them and using psychological pricing, right, is always going to be the same. Same thing with like the aesthetic of the page, right? The hierarchy of those different elements, like the hierarchy of the, like you're talking about the headers, that's a hierarchy, right? You want to also use like what we did here. A little bit ago we were talking about some of the bolding and things of that nature. That's hierarchy of typography, right? You're
Mhm.
looking at some of this stuff and we want people to see this is a 200-page sci-fi action, so we made that bold and italic and capitalized for a reason, because we want you guys to feel that, right? And I think that's what some of those principles do, is that they stay the same because they really do feel that. Like here we got some really compelling hero images, right? You have that really great double page wraparound cover that you have. So we use that a lot in the different things, and then we take some of the colors that are inside that cover, and we keep that kind of uniform throughout your whole page. And you got these really great brights and pinks and purples and reds and oranges, right? So we keep that kind of aesthetic throughout the whole page, and these bright blues and different hues of greens, right? So what we were thought here with your headers, we didn't want them to kind of look we just got a plain background blue with letters over it. We really wanted to pull people in, right? So you had your artist, he, like you said, he's got these really great backgrounds, these really intricate, gorgeous looking splash pages. So we used those splash pages inside your headers, and it didn't take away from it. It kind of added to the whole aesthetic of your book, right? And that's one of those things that you want to kind of keep it an idea. Like, what is the character of your book? And your landing page, your Kickstarter landing page, should continue that character of your book, right? And especially going along with all these different colors schemes and all that stuff. It's all part of marketing, and that's one of those big huge things that we're selling this thing. And if you got a page that's just very bulky and just plain yeah, I'm not going to say that not that everybody who uses that kind of thing doesn't make money off of it, right? Some people, they just make money because their base is huge, but you never want to skimp and leave yourself, with your legs cut off. So utilize every single thing that you can. And just like this, like we could have just made your fans of movies, like, and then gave a static page or a static hey, or listed it out with just some text, right? But instead of the text, we went and found the logos to each of those movies and we put them on there, and we didn't keep the logos as a static page. We made them animated, and this really cool thing that kind of shines, and it's got this really cool gradient when it does pop up. So it keeps you kind of intrigued and in it, right? Same thing with some of your texts. We kind of made those animated GIFs as well, and they're all very uniform and very same. And you just got to follow some of those those rules.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So it's a great page design. It looks really cool. Yeah. You just keep getting better, man.
Listen, that's the way it should be right here. I'm gonna give you guys here. I'm gonna do a little bit of a let me pull this down from here. I'm gonna give you guys a backstage tour of how we're building out the Remember page, because we talk a little bit about this, and I was gonna do this kind of like today because I didn't know I was gonna have a guest, and I was just gonna kind of talk about how I build a page, and we were gonna go through the page a little bit here. And now I think I want to do that because this is one of those things that that I do, right? And we're talking about it, and so let's just kind of look at it. So here you kind of see we built the page very similar to the promotional page, right? And this is our story page. Now we switch it up just a little bit, right? We're giving you that animated feeling here. We didn't use the kind of thing that you did with your animated text here, right? We just had it very, very, we had Helvetica text typography here, and we animated that to kind of just keep it there because I really wanted you to read this part, right? And then we go into the story here. We give you a little bit of, and mind you, we're still working on this, so this is going to have a lot more, aesthetic, visually pleasing things coming out very soon. But you can kind of see how we do this. We kind of remind ourselves, hey, I want to turn this into a a GIF, right? And you kind of see how I did that here up top here. And we might, I might like this, I might not, and there's things that I do and I'm like, okay, cool, I like what I did there, but I might want to turn this into an actual graphic with some really gorgeous looking text that just like we did with CJ's where it said movies like, right? So I might go back and change this, but there's always those things that I just have there as like, placeholders and things of that nature, so we can kind of get an idea of how we want it to look. I don't know if I really like the way we have our covers here. I don't know if I like this this typography, right? Because you want to always make sure that you are picking some, if you're going to have a typography header or some really gorgeous looking headers here with like something on there like we did with yours, you want to make sure that your typography is legible. And I just wanted to see how these kind of looked on the page. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if that's legible enough. These are cool letters. This is a cool font. But for a Kickstarter page that I want people to kind of to read very fast and to be pulled in, I just don't feel that this is the font right here, right? And this is some of those things that you guys might want to do is make it, throw it on there, look at it, and then kind of get your idea of how to do it, right? That's literally what we do. Like, we're not freaking coming up with magic and making this. We just make this stuff, we put it on there, and if we like it and it fits, it's like this thing that just happens. Like, it's like Jenga pieces, right? They just fall into place sometimes, right? And they're like, oh, sweet, that's what's up. It worked. And you'll feel that moment when you have the right typography or the right, written copy. There's moments that you have that you can just feel. And then we go into talking a little bit about the pages and give the log lines here, right? We're gonna have to build this page out a little bit differently than we would have a floppy page because this is a collected edition, right? And we're also selling issues 1 through 3, so we're kind of checking, we're kind of feeling out how we would like to kind of separate those chapters. We may or may not continue to go with that, right? A lot of this is you just play around with it and see how it fits with yours, right? This is just the kind of preliminary kind of thing. I usually get in there and I write out some type stuff and I put it all on the page and kind of see how it looks. And looking at, here's our team space, right? I may get rid of this whole section, and because that's a lot, right? I'm looking at, there's a lot of us on this book. A lot of us have done a really, like, if you look through all of these people on this book and look through all their things that they've done, they have a pedigree of talent here, right? Like, and the people that he chose to do this work, and the stuff that they've worked on you're like, holy smokes, this is a talented group. I want to portray that, but I don't think I want to portray that in a very long scroll, because if you look at this here, this fills up our whole entire page with all of the team, and there's still more to go through. I feel like if we kept that on the page, people might get a little too bored and they may not go that far. And then the whole reason we wanted to create this is, kind of lackluster, and people now won't read how amazing this team is and what I really think would really sell this thing, right? So there's those moments where you have to kind of think about that too. Before, I used to really wanted to keep that in place, right? Because I'm like, well, they really need to see this. But you could think about it, if you could think of different ways to do that, right? You can do you do it with written copy, or do you do it with graphics, or do you do it with pictures of their work and themselves and do a animated GIF, right? And then some really cool graphics that says, talented team or firepower or whatever kind of words that you want to use to kind of just jump out at people to kind of pull them in. There's different things that you can do here, but it's all about getting it on the page, looking at it, seeing what works, and figuring it out from there. That's literally how we work on our pages. How are you? And you do a lot of really cool written copy stuff too. How do you feel? Do you kind of follow these kind of same kind of things that when you put the copy on there?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I would say, and then I kind of leave it to you, with the designer to bold and italicize, because I think designers do a good job of kind of making that stuff pop. But yeah, very similar. And Damien Becton's doing that one too.
Damien Becton, yes, he's writing that one. Let me go through that again and show you guys, because this is a great team. Yeah, Damien Becton is writing this one. This one is created by Patrick Foreman. This was his story. He wrote all the treatment for it, but then he had Damien Becton write this one. And nice. Damien Becton is killing it on all kinds of stuff right now.
He's great. Yeah, really talented.
Great. You got Marcelo Santana Jr., illustrator. He's done Black Cotton. Francisco Zamora is a letterer than me, and then Andrea Lorenzo Molinari. Fantastic team. Definitely want to check this one out. This story is not finished either. There's going to be another one that I'm going to tell you guys now, since you guys are here with us. It's called Remember, and it's another part of the Remember story, but it's called The Bagman. Very cool. I'm not going to give you guys anything else because I want to let Patrick throw that one out there, and kind of I'll just let the cat out of the bag, and I'll let him tell you guys about the cat. But so cool. I love working with them. We're going to be co-publishing that with him and his production company. So we're going to be working with him. We're going to have some of those books on our tables too, so make sure that you guys are checking that out as well. Yeah, man, freaking Damien is everywhere. He's freaking fantastic, man.
Yeah, great writer. He's always pumping out stuff. He's got a lot of hustle, and he's a good guy, so that's a good recipe.
All right, man. Let's end out the show here talking a little bit about my book. My book is live right now on Kickstarter. This one is called I Need Your Skin. I'm going to push that over there. Sorry. This one's I Need Your Skin. This one follows Nora Perkins, who has a fear of aging, and she thinks a clairvoyant can help her. A deal will be made for a small piece of flesh. This is going to be our 28-ish page supernatural horror comic here. This is gorgeous, right? So since you guys since I've been switching up the page, because then I was like, ooh, I need to make this more impactful, right? So we kind of wrote some of the stuff. We have a really great hook, to pull you guys in. This was created by me, written by our friend who is writer of Grandma Chainsaw, Pocus Hocus, Horse in Hell, Beneath the Lighthouse, all kinds of stuff. His name is Alan Dunford. And this is their team, which consists of Brian Belando as the interior artist. We have Ruben Mocho doing a cover. We have Kit Wallace doing a cover, and we have Benjamin W. Morse doing a cover. So definitely check this one out. It's live right now. You can head on over there to geekcollective.net/I Need Your Skin, or head on over to Kickstarter and type in I Need Your Skin. This one is funding right now. We are at 114 backers. That's awesome. 114 and 114 backers. This one is already been funded. We only had a goal of 1,000 because we're going to use this we're going to use the funds to produce it and distribute it to you guys. I'm paying all the guys myself, like out of pocket, just like CJ said. Some of these things we pay out of our pocket so we can get this stuff done. And then we're going to use this to fund the distribution and the print, which is a really great model to do if you can do it. Don't break the bank. Just make sure you guys are not breaking the bank. Especially if you guys are backing this thing, do not take from a mouth to feed. I know how hard that can be. But yeah, just check this out if you guys can. Check it out if you guys are fans of. Here we go. Here's one of our there's the our characters here. We did fans of Smile, If you guys like Jordan Peele movies or A24 style movies like The Substance or Smile, very, very, body horror, kind of high tension, thriller movie where you're definitely going to see some really fun stuff here. So check it out. We got some really great deals here. We're trying to make sure that this thing is affordable as well. If you guys buy a first issue, you guys can get the second issue at a discounted price, which is a great deal as well. Here we go, that you can add on for a second copy for half off. So, it was $15. It is now $7 for the second issue. So if you buy issue 1, and then you can get a second issue and give somebody the gift of horror, for Christmas in July. Check it out, because you can, and then we have all kinds of really cool add-ons. We did unlock some really fun stuff. We unlocked our tarot cards. I had Brian Belando do some tarot cards for us. He did the three of cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Tower with our characters, and man, they freaking turned out fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to turn this into like some covers, because man, this is really cool. He did give us permission to absolutely use these as covers at a later time if we did, or we can use them for whatever you guys want. So if you guys really want some fun stuff like this, and you guys do want these tarot cards as covers, we can design them to look like some really cool stuff. We'll figure out a way to do it. It's up to you guys. We unlocked all 3 of those. We are close to unlocking. I want to get very close to unlocking the glow in the dark. What we're going to do with that one is as we unlock it, we're going to give you guys a brand new tier that you guys can now upgrade or purchase this one, and then you can add on all kinds of really cool stuff. But we're going to integrate that one into a tier where you can get the glow in the dark cover of Kit Wallace's book. We're going to drop out the background, and then we're going to put the background white, because when you send this to your printer, we have a really great printer, which is Ready Comics, which is actually from here in Arizona. We had them print this card here, and this one is actually glow in the dark. If I were to turn the lights off, you guys would be able to see this one. But this is the glow in the dark, and we dropped out the white because the white will also glow in the dark a little bit. So we're definitely gonna have some fun with that one. Check it out. So if you guys are back in the book, get us to $3,000 so we can unlock that one. That's it for me, man. We can please tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find the book, all that fun stuff. And then we'll get the heck out of here, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's on Kickstarter right now. Interstellar Dust Omnibus. It's going to be there for, what did we say, 56 hours or something, 58 hours.
Yeah.
So we're coming down to the wire. We have one more stretch goal. I think we can do it. We're right there. What is it, Joey? Do people get a reminder if they follow a campaign like it's ending soon, like 2 days before it ends? Is that what it is?
I think so, something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because I've had a lot more backers today on the second to last day, so I kind of feel like that might be one of the things. But
I feel like
then I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Blue Sky typically as Siege the Hudson. I'm on everything, but those are my big 2 that I'm on, would be Twitter and Blue Sky. But you can find me same thing on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
Yeah, check this one out. This one's gorgeous. 200 pages of action-packed maturity. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's right. It's not for children. Don't get it for your kid because you think it looks good. You get it because you want to read it.
There you go. And I'm gonna tell you guys, this is gonna be visually pleasing. This thing looks freaking good. I love this stuff. Definitely check that one out. Where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, Siege the Hudson, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. Those are the big ones. I'm on TikTok too. I don't do a lot with it, but I'm trying because all the kids are there. That's smart to do.
When you are not running a Kickstarter, can they buy these from you?
Yes. I'm on warneveryoneentertainment.com. Anytime I have extra issues, they're all on there. Margins are thin, so I don't print a ton of extras, so and once a cover's gone, it's gone. I don't print it again. I'm not big on second printing and having it come back. I lean more into the collector's market. So I just had a great cover by Flops that came out on my Granite comic, and it was limited to I think we did 25 copies of it. I just sold the last one as an add-on, and it's gone. Like, you can find it now on eBay for $100, basically.
Oh my
People are
gosh.
flipping them on eBay. Yeah.
Wow, that's way cool. See, so there you guys go. If you guys are collectors, these Kickstarters, they're worth something sometimes.
Yeah, keep
know.
one for yourself and then flip it. I had a guy buy two once, and I figured that he flipped one of them.
Oh, man, listen, I'm gonna be getting rid of all these dang CJ books. I should probably go slab them or something.
Yeah, flip them on there and be like,
Flip 'em
oh,
on.
God,
There we go.
selling everything.
they're just slabbing them and selling everything for like $300, man. What the heck? All right, man. Thanks again, CJ, for hanging out with me. Last minute, man. I appreciate you for saying yes and hanging out with me.
Yeah,
Finally.
It worked out. I'm happy I could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are out there, please check out CJ Hudson on everything that he does. Check out all the Kickstarters. Follow him on Kickstarter. That's one of the best ways you guys can always know when these Kickstarter creators are doing something amazing, because by following them and following people within their community, because every time that one of my friends that I follow on Kickstarter goes and backs a new book, it tells me when they are backing and which book they are backing. And word of mouth, I'm going to call that word of mouth. Word of mouth is always still one of the best ways to market something. So tell a friend. If you saw something tonight that somebody would like, tell a friend and let them know that where they can find that, because that's one of the best ways possible to do, and it doesn't cost anything, right? All right, thanks a lot. And then we'll be back next week with same regular place. We'll have Benjamin with us again. Hopefully, he's taking a little bit of a vacay, so we're gonna let him relax. Thanks again for hanging out with me, CJ. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks.